Hello, welcome to my CSE 341 Contacts API Part 1 demonstration. I'm Henry Swag, and today I'll be walking you through my Contacts API project. First, let's look at my GitHub repository structure. Here you can see all folders implemented perfectly with the proper MVC and with the right architecture with clear separations of consigns. Now, I'll navigate you through each folders. We have the config, opening the config, which is for configuration. Now, opening it, we can find the database JavaScript. In this database JavaScript, opening it, it handles all the Mongo database connection logic. And this keeps our database configuration separate from our application logic. So this is just the job for the database JavaScript under configuration. Now we'll go to another one called the controllers. The controllers folder, when we open it, we can find the contacts controller JavaScript. Now in this contacts controller JavaScript, opening it, you can see that it contains all business logic for handling contact data, specifically the get endpoints for retrieving all contacts and single contacts by ID. You can see here get single contact by ID or get all contacts. So that's the job for these controllers with contacts controller JavaScript. Now we have another one, the routes. In the routes folder, when you open it, we can see the contact JavaScript. Now in this contact JavaScript, this is where we define our API endpoints and connect them to our appropriate controller. Here, to get all contacts, so we connect it to the appropriate controller, contact controller dot get all contacts. If you want to get by ID, you can see contact controller to get contact by ID. So that's the job for this particular folder. Now we go to another one, the server JavaScript. The server JavaScript can be found in our root directory. So if I scroll down, you can find our server.javascript in the root directory. So what this does is to set our Express server and bring everything together. So our database, our controllers, the routes, everything comes together in this our server.js under this Express to work fine and good. Now if you look here, we don't have the gitignore file. As a result of opening this repository, I hit the gitignore file. I excluded it actually, then made it not visible because of some credential by the Mongo database, which is crucial for security practices and sensitivity of information. So let me walk us through my VS Code. So this is my repository. Now to my VS Code, you can see all folders involved: the env, the controller database, server JavaScript, the readme, the license, and now we have here the test REST. The test REST, this is where the REST client extension to my API endpoints. So we have that of the root endpoints, which runs on 3000. We have the health endpoint to check for health. We have that of the contacts, and we have to get single contact by ID. So when I go to this local host, follow the link and open it, you can see I'll have this hello world descriptions and the endpoint. Now if I go back, check that of the health, follow the link, I will see the status okay, the environment, development, database, also what connected. Now we have that contact. If I follow the link, I will see the display of my contact, having their first name, the last names, email, favorite color, and even their birthday. So all this was made possible by our server console. Now if you can see, Everything is running in a port 3000, and our database, which is the MongoDB, its connection is successful. You can see that when we attempted the connection, everything run under the environment and they were connected successfully. So because of this our root endpoint, head check and contact, we are all functional. Now the last thing we look at is our renders. Now going to our renders, you can see the dashboard here. So this is the recent deployment of my project, the API, which we are interested in. So now let's try to view this using the renders web link. Now you can see the display, it still displays perfectly using the link of the renders, the environment, production and everything. How about we try to check the URL for that of the health? I'll click here, you see health, press enter. Now you can see the status okay, timestamp, environment, production, even our database is connected. How about if I try to check the contacts? So I will clean this and go to contacts. You can see it also displays perfectly for our contacts and every other information, the status okay and everything okay. So everything in this our API shows that it's working and it's fine. So I will try to brief us a little bit on what just happened here. Now first, we know that we talked about the MVC architecture. So in this MVC architecture, we have the models, and the models are the ones that handles the Mongo database with the contacts collection. Now we have the views. The view also handles, which we haven't actually used since this API, but our JSON responses serves that purpose. We also have the controllers. Now the controllers handles the business logic, like I said before, in our contacts. The routes define our API in our endpoint. So then the MongoDB connection is established through config and database JavaScript file. It uses environment variables for connection strengths, making it secure and configurable for different environments. Speaking of security, all sensitive information like the Mongo database connection string is stored in an environment variable. So if you go to our Mongo database environment, so here is the environment, everything was stored perfectly. We have the key, the link. So when we go to the settings, you can see there the unique name, the location, the instance, the branch, the root. So everything ensures that credentials are never exposed in code bases. So that concludes my CS 341 Contacts API Part 1 demonstration. This API completes with all required get date points, proper MVP architecture, Mongo database integration, and successful deployment on render. Thank you for watching.